This material has been reproduced and communicated to you by or on behalf of the Australian National University, in accordance with Section 113P of the Copyright Act 1968. The material in this communication may be subject to copyright under the Act. Any further reproduction or communication of this material by you must be consistent with the provisions of the Act. Do not reproduce this material. Do not remove this notice.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much everyone for coming today, both staff and students. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're meeting on Ngunnawal Ngambri land, and we're all very lucky to get to live and work in such beautiful country and on this beautiful bush campus. So I'll try and keep this as short as I can so we can get back out into that 21 degree sunshine. So as some of you probably know, the university has been undergoing some changes to our undergraduate courses across the whole university, and these are obviously we're just talking about the School of Art and Design, but these changes are to align our program with the curriculum framework and the ANU graduate attributes of Indigenous perspectives, transdisciplinary learning and critical thinking, which is what we think in CAS that all of our courses have built into them anyway. So the CAS education team have made this fabulous website which you can visit to see what these changes are going to be. So commencing students next year coming into the visual arts program will be required to follow these new program orders. And I should state that I think Academic Board are meeting next week to officially approve these changes. But we just really wanted to be able to share with you all what they were in good time for you to be able to think about how you'd complete your program, and to be able to see what courses we're offering in 2025. So, there is a slight chance that Academic Board will not approve these changes, but we suspect that's highly unlikely, don't we? So, yeah.
They've already been approved by the APAC committee, which is the Quality and Assurance Committee, and that's kind of the real committee that is looking at a lot of these the details of it, and also the college level committee, but you also have a user representation. But Academic Board is making the formal changes, so this is in the anticipation of that.
Yeah. And sorry, I should have introduced Ferre, our Associate Dean of Education, and also Andrea, who is like CAS Education extraordinaire. So for continuing students who started in 2024 or earlier, you will be able to complete your program requirements according to the program rules in the year that you started, or if you wish to, you'll be able to change to the new program requirements. And that is probably, I would say, if you began the program this year in 2024 and you've just started your degree, you're the most likely bunch of students who will want to move into the new program, because then it'll just be all a bit cleaner and neater. So anyway, and then it says here, if you have any questions, I'm your person. So we've also got this document, which we hope will help you understand what the transitional plan is. So as I say, this advice applies to students commencing 2024 or earlier. And we're really just saying it's the same as when you come to the end of your degree and you go and have a meeting with the CAS student office to see when and if you can graduate and what gaps there are in your program, or you come and see me if you've filled out a study plan. So obviously the degree still has 144 units, and for the single degree it still has the maximum of 60 from the 60 units from the 1,000 level, which is the same as is, and then a minimum of 84 from completion of 2,000 and 3,000 level. So, and many of you will already be on this program where the Art History 1006 and Art History 1007 are compulsory. And then if you started this year, that Foundations of Contemporary Practice is already on the list, and then the 2 capstone courses, 3033 and 3035. So that's all pretty straightforward, nothing to worry about there. And then the minimum of 12 units from the 1,000 level courses. So currently on the 2024 program or earlier, you've got any 1,000 level ARTV course, or there's a selection of design courses. And so what we now have is this new list of courses, which we hope are clearer for you all to see what is on offer and what they are. And so ceramics 1, glass 1, painting 1, and so on. And these new 1,000 level courses have a number of topics under it. So for example, ARTV 1150, ceramics 1, has 2 topics, wheel formed and hand formed. So it's actually the same as the program is now, but we've just organised it so that the topics sit underneath it. And we've done this because it's kind of nice and clear for students to understand, rather than complex long titles that you're not sure what's inside that course. And also, it just also gives us greater flexibility in our delivery of those courses. So in terms of, if you've done ARTV 112 or whatever it is, if you've done wheel formed, then you won't be able to do wheel formed intro again. That's kind of that's how the program orders will work. And then in the changes to the 2,000 level courses, there's, some of you may know of the painting course, Open to Influence. This course is being moved into a new topic course, ARTV 2066, called Art in Context. So that course is just going to become a topic sitting underneath a brand new Art in Context course. And there are, you can see here as well on this list, that Politics of Memory, that was a Sculpture and Spatial Practice course, is also coming under the Art in Context. And then we've got a brand new course, Art After Social Media, that's going to be offered next year as well, which I think is a pretty important kind of space for us to address in terms of contemporary art practice. And so the Art in Context courses will be where you bring the knowledge that you've acquired in your studio areas and bring it to this sort of conceptual framework. So into these broader topics. Now. And then, yeah, so these design 2,000 level courses as well, any of them that you've done already, if you were to move into the new program orders, would count against it. And then again, we've got the same thing with the 2,000 level courses for all of the studio areas. And so they replace these new studio courses. Yes?
Can you please share your screen?
Oh God, sorry. Oh.
Maybe ask everyone to check that they're muted.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, everyone. And yeah, can you just mute yourselves at home, please? For those of you who've missed this, you can this website is now live, so you can go back and look at the picture of what I've just been talking about as well. So hopefully that's all sharing now properly. And again, so underneath these 2,000 level studio-based courses, there will be a range of different topics. I'm just going to finish and then you can ask questions at the end. Okay. And then the engagement courses are also remaining the same. So the professional practice that Ella Barclay teaches at the moment, economies and ecologies in the Australian cultural sector, the internships, and then the public project is an existing course, but we've changed that so that it has topics underneath it as well. And so many of you may have done the course that Lucy and Aidan taught last semester, where you were kind of doing stuff on City Hill and other locations. And we're really excited to be sharing that we've got a summer intensive for next year. So just to give you all a heads up, if you want to enrol in a really exciting course at Mount Stromlo taught by Anna Rawpack with Brad Tucker, from the astrophysicist who you might see wandering around the campus every day of the year in shorts and thongs. It's notable because I wouldn't do that in the winter. And then the environment studio we still have as well, obviously running in both semesters. So that is now that's the basic sort of substitutions running there, and then hopefully this will. And then I've just made a little bit of a PowerPoint just to talk about next year, because probably for quite a few of you, you're finishing off next year, or for a good chunk of you. And so as I said at the beginning, Academic Board meet next week for the final approval of these changes. And as Ferre said, it's been through AQAC, so it's unlikely they won't approve the changes, but we just want you to know that there is, until they've approved them, they're not approved. So the courses that are this new engagement course, or the topic within the public project, as I just said, this will be something that you'll want to enrol in if you're interested in sort of video work or projections, and if you're interested in the night skies. And also the other thing that's exciting about this course is that the outcomes from the course will be part of the Enlighten project in Canberra next year. So it's kind of got some really beautiful public outcomes, and also that interdisciplinary collaborating with experts from different fields. But you just need to be around in Canberra before semester if you want to do this course. And then future topics will, the Canberra community's placemaking, cultural development, which is what Aidan and Lucy taught this last semester, will run in future semesters with that. So I'm sorry about, I don't know, right. Here we go, okay. So just to go back over, this is really what we're offering next year, 2025 semester 1 and 2. So the foundation course probably doesn't apply really to any of you here in this room, but we have foundation and then observational drawing in semester 1, and then these new art in context courses, there'll be one of them each semester. So the art after social media in semester 2, and then the politics of memory. So if you've done politics of memory in sculpture and spatial practice, you won't be able to do that again. But you can look on programs and courses to see details of all of those orders. And then we're also offering the environment studio and the internship, and then obviously ARTV 3033, the capstone. And then the environment studio in semester 2, and the pro-prac and internship. So, and then semester 1, we've got hand-formed ceramics. So you can see, I don't need to necessarily read them all out, but you can see the topics that we're offering. So I hope that helps you understand how the topics work. So, press-based print, we're running etching. Sometimes we'll be running relief printing. Sometimes that topic might be letterpress. So, and then planographic printing is basically screen printing and or lithography at the 2000 level. If you've done lithography at a 1000 level, then you could do it in this course. But it's screen printing that's the super popular one. And then they're the courses that are in semester 2. So I think that's kind of the end of my slideshow, to be honest, if anyone has any questions. So I hope you can kind of see that pretty much all of our topics are the existing courses but put under these topics. So there's not a reduction. It looks like a neater, reduced suite of courses, but actually they're just tucked under as different topics. Yes?
Under the ceramics 1 and 2, do you think as the years go by there'll be introductions of new techniques as well? Because I've seen like slip casting, that sort of like technology in terms of ceramics that's been run as a separate course before, so I was wondering.
Have you done slip casting already?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, that's one of the topics as well, yeah. So mould making and casting with ceramics is another one. So I haven't got all of our topics up here. And the other thing about topics is we can add new ones in as we wish. It's a kind of nice way to add new things in rather than writing whole new courses. But yeah, so next semester there's glaze and colour at the 2000 level, and then expanded ceramics in semester 2. So yeah. Any other? Yes, Remy.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it with, say, like the planographic print and how it can be lithography or text or screen printing.
Yep.
Would you announce it for that year that it would be?
So it would be, so at the 2000 level,
Yeah.
it would be either, depending what you've done before. So we've got a couple of different topics that are more conceptually framed for those second year print courses. And so you could do, there's another, I can't remember the name of the topic off the top of my head, but there's another topic under planographic too. So what it means is you could do both those topics, and so you could do double amount of screen printing if that's like what you really want to, like, so you could really push your skills to the next level. So that's the same as, so say with the painting, we are offering 2 painting topics in semester 2, but if you imagine painting 2 has painting in the photo-digital age, studio methodology, abstraction, and there's a couple of other topics as well. So if we rotate through the topics, a student who's enrolling in the degree can do all of those different topics. And so therefore, if they're not doing a double degree, they can fill their electives up with painting, or they can fill their electives up with print or whatever. So depending on what we're offering. Yeah.
Just one other questions online.
Oh, yep. Hold on. Whoop.
Let's just go on the keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop the share. Sorry, thank you. Okay. Yeah, no, it was just the. Are there any questions from online? Any more questions? Yes, B.
I just wanted to ask, just to make sure I get my head around it. So the painting 1 to essentially titles, placeholder titles for them, the specific courses that fall under them.
Well, no, they are the name of the course,
Yeah,
but
so that actually is changes.
Pardon?
Like what actually is taught in that course changes. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, so there are topics.
Yeah.
So each topic is a course.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that course has different content.
Yeah.
So you can't double up under government, under the university rules. We can't teach something that we taught in one topic and the other topic. They have to be separate
Yeah.
content.
So they are separate courses.
So these, if you go onto programs and courses, all of our new courses are there already, which is also why we wanted to have this meeting, because I have had people coming to me and saying, I can't find the courses. So if we look at painting 1, here are the 2 topics. There's only 2 for painting 1. But if we go, and so those courses will be offered, 1 per semester, basically.
But just to clarify, if you want to do introduction to acrylic painting and you also want to do introduction to oil painting, is that possible?
Yeah. Sorry, yes. Yeah. So you can do the different topics, but you can't repeat the same topic over and over again. And who would want to, actually? Unless you failed. Yeah. So if we look on the class tab, you can see here for 2025, there's a class number, Intro to Acrylic, and then in Sem 2, Intro to Oil. You can do all the topics under one thing, but only once. Yeah. And so if we look at, just for the sake of, if we look at painting 2, and going to the, you can see, that's wrong. Yeah, there might be a few wrong things in there still. We just, it doesn't have all the, and we are, Amy, we are planning to put the suite of topics in there somewhere that is visible as like what the topics will be, and separate to in the class thing where it tells you what is offered next year. Yeah. Yes.
With the graduate attributes, how are they playing out in the structure of CAS degrees now? Do they have their own courses, or are they just integrated into
in the school, in our degree, the transdisciplinary is all in 3035. And then we're arguing that we're not arguing. We have critical thinking. If we haven't got critical thinking in all our courses, we just do. So that's good. And then the Indigenous perspectives is still sort of in development, because there's a lot more consultation that's required for how best to deliver that. But in the meantime, we have a commitment, obviously, in the School of Art and Design to make sure that when we're talking about contemporary art and when we're looking at art practices and movements and different methodologies, that we're always including a broad range of artists within our courses, which should include First Nation artists from Australia and beyond, queer artists, people of colour, etc., etc. So, Anything else, Ferre or Andrea? I'm sure I've forgotten something.
I want to raise something as well.
Yes.
Just with the Indigenous perspectives and knowledges in the courses, I've noticed there's been a lot of people are grabbing from the small sort of gathering of people that are doing this sort of thing at the cafe, the art school cafe, and I think it's being sort of treated as a space to use that sort of stuff to bring into the courses. But I've had a bit of a chat with a couple of people.
Are you talking about the yarning circle?
The yarning circle, yeah. So it is sort of Indigenous led, but I think it's been sort of used as a space we could actually use that sort of stuff. I've just wondered if it's possible that we could push to have an actual committee formed to look at the Indigenous knowledges, because
I think we are. That is our. I think that is happening. We've been discussing that at exec. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know. Yeah.
You'll be invited, Aidan. Guess, funnily enough.
Because I don't go to the yarning circle, but I just
imagine that
it would be more grander than.
Yeah. And we've also had conversations with Brenda Croft about what that will look like as well.
Sure.
So
yeah. That's good.
Can I just add a comment on the Indigenous perspectives? So in terms of the curriculum framework, we have quite a long lead time to implement this across the university, and I mean, just imagine the complexity. You will be doing this across all colleges you know, science, medicine, I mean, across everything. So it's a really big undertaking. That's not to say that, you know, that doesn't, although it will take a while to roll this out, that's not to say that, you know, schools or that we can have localized forms of initiatives. And, you know, a lot of these things are actually happening around the place, but it's just not localized.
No, I think for me it's more that I think we need to have more of a consensus of what we're all teaching in these spaces, because it's all just sort of little facets of knowledge is going out, and then, you know, it comes back to other people like, oh, we learned this or we learned that, and it's sort of a bit, yeah, as an Indigenous person in the art school, it's a little bit sort of confronting of like, well, I wouldn't teach that, or they wouldn't teach this, or so it needs to. What I'm asking for is a bit more coherence in everyone being together, and yeah, that's what we need to push rather than that.
All right, I've just put a link of what I was just talking about, because I didn't share my screen again for all of you at home. Yeah. All right, so yeah, and I mean, I guess in terms of whether, I mean, how many students here are in first year? A couple. Like, you might be the ones who think, will it just be easier to flip over to the 2025 program, and that will then then everything sort of matches what the courses are now. But that's something that maybe once Academic Board have given the new program the thumbs up, that you can have a think about, and I'm happy to speak to you as a group or individually about that. Like, maybe I can come to, we can have another meeting just for first year students to talk about that. Yeah. Well, I think if there's no more questions, I think we're yes, B.
I just wanted to ask a clarification on Amy's question. I was on the transdisciplinary working group for the undergraduate curriculum review as well as the undergraduate curriculum review working group in 2023 when we were forming the graduate attributes. And as the Andusa representative, and there was a lot of discussion there about how how the committees would work regarding especially Indigenous knowledge, because I guess I wanted to ask, is it a localised committee at the art school that will be formed, or is it more of the broader for the whole graduate attribute across the school? Because I think you were looking for something more broad, right, but also localised.
Yeah, I mean, there's issues with it too. So for me, I think the local is, so we want to be on board. We're all saying, yes, this is great stuff to teach or not. But broader you would be great. I'm not saying yes or no either, but yeah.
Anyway, that was just a question. That's probably.
No, it's a good question. It is a good question. Yeah.
There's a couple of parts to that answer. So the Indigenous perspectives, we have an appointed academic lead for that particular graduate attribute, and an associate. She's an academic from English, and she's been working with a range of academics from various areas already to put together a few pilot sort of modules and things that we can integrate into various courses, because it's all so different across every area. Like, it's really hard to, we don't have a blanket rule for, put this particular content in. So it will be on a case by case basis, and basically it will be scattered across all the courses to equate to at least one year. So SJ has just got a committee that is being formed, and I'm sure there'll be petitions that have gone out already and will to follow. And she's very, very, very happy to have people come to her with courses that they would like to put some more content in, or offer as whole courses that could be used to help meet that attribute. So yeah, she's very, very open to having more people come and collaborate with her. Across the university, obviously, there's still things happening through the RAP as well, and that's also taking carriage of a lot of this graduate attribute, and they're trying to members of those communities that are doing what's supposed to. Ours is for CAPS. Different colleges have addressed this graduate attribute
But we are talking about having a School of Art and Design. I can tell you what we've...
Yeah, there's been like efforts to do it before as well, and just like it just keeps sort of, I think it's just falling short of what we want to do. So yeah, I just wanted to see if it was trajectory in a more formal setting. Okay.
Yeah. Great. Any more questions from the people? I know you're probably just down the hill, but that aren't here in the room. No, great. For anyone who is interested in, Tamara Henderson is doing an artist talk, like literally started, or a lecture in the ceramics class right now, started at 1:30. She's a really interesting contemporary artist who's based in Canberra, but has shown internationally. I think she might be Canadian. Her practice is very expansive, and I think it will be a great talk. There'll be films and stuff. So if you want to run down there, you're very welcome to join in that class for the lecture. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks.